Torah Life Ministries, come out of the world. Messiah people seek the truth.
Everybody, it's Paul Neeson with Torah Life Ministries, and we are doing it again, another episode of the series Yeshua Said. Yeshua is the name of the Messiah. Some of you refer to him as Jesus, but his name is Yeshua, and in the Hebrew, the names have significance, and Yeshua means the salvation of Yahweh, or salvation. And that's what he is. The name, it fits the character, and that's exactly what Yeshua, our Messiah, is. And we are reading here, it's episode 19 of the Yeshua Said series. And you go to my website, Health Watchman, and you can see all the other episodes here on the Yeshua Said series. But we're up to Matthew 7:13 to 7:14. And what I'm doing with this is I'm taking everything out what people say about the commentary on what Yeshua said. I'm taking all the other scriptures out of the Bible on what Yeshua said. I just want to see what he said directly. So when you're reading your scriptures and it has those red letters, that's the letters of Messiah, that's what Yeshua was saying. I don't want to hear what other people had to say about what Yeshua said. I want to hear what he said, because that is where the true understanding will come. And we're reading the Sermon on the Mount. We're coming towards the end of it. We're in Matthew 7:13 and 7:14. And this verse says, go through the narrow gate, for the gate that leads to destruction is wide, and the road broad, and many travel it. But it is a narrow gate and a hard road that leads to life, and only few find it. Matthew 7:13, 7:14. And we have to understand exactly what Yeshua was saying and what Yeshua was talking about. And we're going to see that right now. We're going to look at how Yeshua often liked to quote the original covenant, especially the Torah. This is the foundation of all of Scripture. He wasn't doing away, and he didn't come to do away with the original Torah. He didn't replace it and say, now you got to do something new. He didn't say that our Creator told us to do things this way, but I'm telling you to do them that way. No, he said, this is the way it should be done. Found in the Torah, and I'm the living Torah, showing you how to do it. It says in Deuteronomy 30:19, it says, today I've given you the choice between life and death, between blessing and curses. Now I call on the heavens and the earth to witness the choice you may make. Oh, that you will choose life, so that you and your descendants might live. In essence, this is exactly what Yeshua Messiah is saying in Matthew 7:13 and 14. He's saying, go through the narrow gate, for the gate that leads to destruction is wide, and the road broad, and many travel it. So, in essence, he's telling us, he's given us the choice between life and death. The narrow gate or the broad road, the broad gate. You know, between the blessing and the cursing. Because it says the narrow gate is a hard road that leads to life. That hard road is the lifestyle of obedience. It's the lifestyle of Torah. And we're saved only through the blood of Messiah, but we're blessed by keeping the guidelines and instructions of our Creator. So the opposite of blessings is curses. So it says we have a choice between life and death. Between life, Yeshua Messiah, and death. Life, is not accepting Yeshua Messiah, death. And between blessings and curses. Blessings, being obedient and living out Torah, or curses, being disobedient, and curses are attached to that. And then it goes on to say, those that make the right choice, only few will find it. It goes on to say, I call the heaven and the earth to witness this choice. Oh, that you will choose life, or oh, that you will find it, so that you and your descendants will have life, or might live. And it's such an important thing. And, so you and your descendants will be saved and have, we could say, an afterlife or a new birth. Because we all have life and we all have death here on earth. But that's not what it's talking about. So that you may live, so that you shall have a life of blessings. And yes, we can be blessed in this lifestyle and have so many tremendous blessings for obedience. But boy, we're storing up our treasures in heaven. And we get there through the narrow gate, which is Yeshua Messiah. It's amazing. Let's look at what Yeshua said, and he told the people that they have this choice to make. In John 14:6, Yeshua told them, I am the way, the truth, and the life. And no one can come to the Father except me. So we have to make this choice. And the choice we have to make is simple. You accept Yeshua as who he says he is. You accept him. I am the way, the truth, and the life. And no one is going to get there any other way. You either believe that, folks, or you don't. You believe that or you don't. I'm going to say it again. You believe that or you don't. There's no middle ground there. So you accept him. You make that choice. You accept Messiah. And then number 2, you act righteously, which is keeping Torah. Yeshua is the gate and Torah is the path. That's what this Matthew 7:13 and 14, Yeshua is talking about. He is the gate. Torah is the path or that road. But few will find it. Few will choose it. Few will be on it. But you're not concerned with those few. You want to be one of those set apart, holy people that decide not only to accept Yeshua, but go the extra mile, so to say, and actually live it out and keep Torah and keep obedience. So he's telling his believers that we have to be so narrow-minded that we don't think about anything else, like a rhinoceros. When they have their target, nothing's taking them off their target. That's how we got to be. We have to be so narrow-minded that there's no other possibility of becoming saved and blessed other than accepting Yeshua and keeping Torah. That's it. We need to be as narrow-minded as that narrow gate, as that narrow road. That's what we need to do. But we look at the people back then, and they didn't enter through the correct gate. You know, we had a whole bunch of people back then keeping the Torah, keeping the guidelines and instructions. And this is who Yeshua went to. This is who he was talking to. He was talking to many of the people that knew the Jewish people. He brought the message to the Jewish people. He wasn't bringing it to the non-Hebrews of the world. He was bringing it to the Jewish people. He was bringing it to the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He was telling them that, it's not only about keeping the Torah, the guidelines, and the instructions. You need something else. You need to accept me. It's not about just being and observing the rituals and the traditions, and it's not about just keeping Torah. You need me. It says in Matthew 5:20, "But I warn you, unless your righteousness is better than the righteousness of the teachers of religious law and the Pharisees, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven." Matthew 5:20. So you have to understand, he was telling the people on the Sermon on the Mount, who he was talking to, all of the people, and many of them were obedient to what the Pharisees were teaching, which was Torah. You need more. You need me. You'll be blessed by keeping the word, but I am the gate to be saved. In other words, Torah without our Creator is not going to get you saved. And our Creator without Torah is not going to get you blessed. You need both, folks. So today we have the opposite. We have people that are not living in righteousness. They're not following Torah. And when I say people, I'm talking about the so-called Christian. They don't even know what the guidelines and instructions are, and they're looking for loopholes and making mistakes. They live in a lack of faith. They don't even have faith in our Creator because they're not seeing the amazing miracles happen because they're not being obedient to the Word. And they just have distrust, disbelief. They're just ignoring the word, many of them. So back then you had the people that were so obedient, but they didn't have Messiah. And today you have the Christian that proclaims Yeshua as Messiah, but they're not being obedient. Folks, you can't have one without the other and expect to be blessed and expect to understand what Yeshua was talking about in Matthew 7:13 to 7:14. He was saying both. You need me and you need the obedience. Because if you're a follower of me, you're going to be obedient to the word. When somebody calls himself, and by the way, the original believers weren't called Christians. They were called followers. Followers of Messiah Yehsua. If you're following him, you're doing what he said to do, and he pointed people to Torah. Now, if you don't know what Torah is technically the first 5 books of the scriptures, starting in Genesis, which is Bereshit. And the Torah is the foundation of all scripture. You cannot have a nice, beautiful, solid house if the foundation is weak. And the way you get a solid foundation is understanding Torah. And this is what Yeshua was teaching to the people. He was teaching them Torah. And then later on, his disciples went out and they taught Torah. A life of obedience, a life of following what the Messiah said. He never did away with it or replaced it. So we need to understand that. That's what Yeshua said. And we're going to continue to do the Yeshua Said series and look at what else he said. No one else but Yeshua That's what it's about. So go back and look at the previous episodes. This is the 19th episode, and then we're going to continue this series on Torah Life Ministries. So thank you for checking us out. If you have any comments or questions, post them below the video. And if you like this video, please like it wherever you see it, Facebook or YouTube or anywhere else. And that'll be a big help if you like the video. Thank you very much, everybody. And I pray that you're enjoying this series, Yeshua said, and shalom, shalom.